I'll call a meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is approval of February 20th, 26th. Is there a motion to approve those?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the meetings on February 20th and 26th as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is just the agenda. I have one, and that is farm markets. Is there a second to add that?
Second.
Farm markets.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any other additions? Communications. Been in communications with the highway department. They're ready for the big storm. Hope everybody's prepared. Thank everybody for looking out for their neighbors. We're probably going to hire on an extra plow driver if we need it, just to make sure we can keep up with it. Sounds like it's going to be a real thing. So we're ready to go, and Terry Burke's doing a great job on Facebook, updating people and looking, calling people up and visiting people that need assistance. But overall, everybody seems to be doing pretty well.
And I was following the emails from Kara Collins, who was very concerned about getting a slow speed sign up for Lower River
Right.
Road.
Yeah, I talked to Jim about that today.
Good, because I told
So-
her, I said, that's a town road, so we should go through Gordon and
Right.
the highway department, our own highway department.
Got it. Yes,
Good.
so that's in the works. Any pub-
Is all the equipment?
Yeah, everything's up, ready to go. Yeah, brought in more sand today, so,
Good. I mean, the last storm, we're
yeah.
not even a week out yet.
Yeah, March is turning out to be the lion. Any public comments? First on the agenda then is transfer station personnel. The board did hire Ted Larson to be the transfer station operator at our meeting last week. And we had some very good candidates, and we decided to hire Ted, and he's the job now. And we had a nice party for Steve, who very appreciative of everybody coming up and thanking him. He actually was made an honorary member of the Women's Society, which was very touching. So that was good. We're advertising for the assistant position, and we should have some interviews next week maybe to do on that.
We have additional people coming?
Yeah, if we hear from other people. We have 3 good candidates that we've already talked to, and we'll see if we get more. Unless they rise up to the level of proficiency that we already have available, we probably won't do any more interviews, but we might have a special meeting just to get that sorted out next week if
One
it comes
comment
down.
that I think we could share is that we were impressed. We had 4 people apply to be the operator for the transfer station. And any one of the 4 was qualified. And
Yeah.
we felt very positive about, I think, the turnout.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, it was a good process.
Everybody's, the remaining 3 were notified that they're still in the running for the,
Right, they did. Yep,
so that they're aware of that themselves.
Yeah.
correct. And we've got part-time people filling in until we make that decision. Steve O'Neill has said he'd even come back and make a guest appearance from time to time to fill in. So anyway,
Good.
we're good with that. Okay, next we have
So the time frame on that, though, then we're going to wait, that'll be out for a week or so?
a week or so. We have to see when that gets published. Did we find out when it ran in the paper?
Doesn't look like it did. They weren't sure,
Right.
but they didn't.
So we might have to wait another week till it gets run in the paper.
Yeah.
So possibly at our next meeting?
Yeah.
We can, possibly at our
Right,
next
the
meeting. we can make a
latest
decision.
we should make a decision, because we already know we have qualified candidates. We
Right.
have advertised, so the most it will be 2 weeks.
Okay.
Next, firehouse bids. We're working with John Laporta and Paul Prindle on getting some bids for insulating the firehouse. First,
apparently there's supposed to be a bid that comes in that goes with Nestler's for electrical.
Extra electrical,
But it
right.
didn't come in yet.
Now, who makes that decision? The people at the firehouse or do the selectmen?
The selectmen with consultation of
Okay.
firehouse people, the town's paying for all.
Nestler's
Of
bid
this.
is to do the work, the
Yeah.
carpentry work necessary around, not the
Right.
electrical necessarily, the
But not the
carpentry,
electrical, yeah.
Right,
around the
there's-
electrical box.
so we have one bid for 14,000, and we have another one from Pete Nestor for 7,700. This probably has a couple $1,000s of electrical work to be added to it. But this is basically working and setting the building up in order to receive the blown-in insulation.
Okay.
So we have money to do this. So his total bill,
It's not really a difference here.
right? So this includes the electrical, which John estimates would be a couple $1,000s.
Oh, I see, I see.
So
Are you expecting more bids or is
no,
this it?
it took quite a while even to get two bids because it's kind of
Okay.
pesky work. So I'd make a motion that we hire Pete Nestler to do the work. He did a nice job on the railings up here, and local contractors, so reputable. John works with him quite a bit. Is there a second?
Sure, I second that. I mean, the electrical can't be that much.
Right.
Just wanted to see what the difference.
It's a big difference.
There is, as,
Huge difference.
right.
Now,
Can be the
you were
case.
saying this needs to have the electrical
Right.
added to
Yeah,
it?
there's a couple $1,000s, so that's why the electrical is, that's
So-
why the difference isn't quite as much as,
There'll still be a couple $1,000 difference no matter what.
Be several, but still be four at
Right.
least.
Well,
So,
whatever they,
will you get the electrical, will that be Peter Nestler or will it be a
it'll be another
different person?
contractor, probably Steve Zaccardi.
Another contractor,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I second that.
Okay? Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is, we also have a bid to actually do the blown insulation. This is someone that Paul says does a lot of work in town, and he recommends them. It's a tricky job in that there's three different components of the building they're actually doing, and his job to spray in the ceiling area in all three areas is $9,000, which Paul felt was more than a fair price to actually do the insulation work. So the preparation work may actually cost more than the insulation itself.
so it's be all, what's metal coated? Oh, that's just what they do.
Right.
Baffle, okay, yeah, baffle.
So it looks like it's all gonna cost about 20,000.
Yeah, by the time we're done. But it should, let's see, we pay probably $4,000 or $5,000 a year in oil there, and so it'll probably pay for itself in probably 10 years, which is a good investment. It also will help with there's ice sometimes out in front because of the insulation or lack of insulation in the roof, then melts the snow on the roof, which then creates ice. If you have a well-insulated building, it will keep the snow on the roof, and then you may have to shovel it off, but it won't create ice jams in.
Well, this is the only bid we
Right,
have in
that's
on
the
the
one.
insulation. Okay.
I forget, this is the loose stuff that just gets
Right.
blown in, this isn't the expanding stuff,
No, this is not foam, this is the loose stuff that sits there.
right?
It's a little more benign product. Okay?
Any other bids?
No, that's the bid at the current time. Paul felt it was a good price. So I'll make a motion, we accept this bid for $9,000 from
New
New England Building Products.
Second. It's a pretty straightforward thing. I mean,
Right.
You just hose it
Off you
around
go, and you have a big truck full of
Right.
cellulose.
with a mask on.
Yeah. So the second, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, Community at the Crossroads. It's an interesting book somewhere.
I'm sorry, I moved it.
Oh, you moved it.
For my own comfort here, it's on your waist.
It's all good. So this is a report I got in the mail from the Northwest Community Foundation. It's good storm reading. What they've done is they've analyzed the demographic trends of the area, some of the educational factors, and talk about the challenges the towns are facing as far as trying to get a younger demographic and lay out some strategies. So I thought it was very timely as we're working on our 10-year plan for the town. So I went and they nicely gave me 15 copies, so I got a copy for you.
Thank you.
Board of Finance, and for every member of the Planning and Zoning Commission. So it's taken a lot of data that's come out recently about what's going on in the area. That is the slow but steady changes that are going on, and sort of pulls it together with an up-to-date twist, and it gives you a good perspective as far as similarities, some differences in the towns, but a lot of similarities as far as these trends, and then make some good suggestions about how to reverse some of the population declines.
Looks like we're shrinking over the years.
That's the projection, that's the challenge. So,
Real numbers to the.
real numbers and really thoroughly done,
Yeah.
it's,
Well, it's certainly
Pretty
an
important.
attractive presentation.
right? You come up with much better graphics than I can.
Even attractive presentation if the information isn't.
I know. The
Very,
I don't like the information, but it
At
looks
least-
pretty.
At least
Yeah.
the pictures.
Exactly.
So we'll have copies here, if anybody wants to see them.
This is a lot of the stuff we've seen in piecemeal, I think.
Right, it's
Yes.
pulling a lot of stuff
Yeah.
together, but it also talks about some interesting ideas about integrating the education system, so you have a workforce training and this kind of thing, saying that even though there are jobs available, but it's a question of trained workforce and integrating some of the academic institutions in the area with the businesses that are looking for employees. So, anyway, happy reading during the storm.
Okay.
Next we have appointments. We got a letter from the Conservation Commission requesting Kate Frygang to be added to their group. So I would make a motion to do that. Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Then we have a appointment for the Board of Assessment Appeals. Did you have a chance to talk to Blaine about, did you get hold of Blaine Matthews?
I sent him an email and
Right.
left a phone message, but
Yeah.
I never contacted. I didn't
You didn't hear back?
hear back.
Right. So, anyway, they are busier in March, so we still have
Yeah.
time, a little time. I think they actually mid-March, so
Okay.
maybe we don't have that much time.
I'll
But,
call him again in the morning.
Who
See, I
is
don't
this
know.
now?
Blaine Matthews
For the board?
for the Board of
Board of
Assessment Appeals,
Assessment Appeals.
Pam Longwell resigned.
Right, but that board doesn't need it.
Well, I think they do something in March.
I thought it was in February, but maybe it is March.
Anyway,
It's March, I thought it was next week even, but
so again,
Roger was
if,
Yeah.
asking
if we hear,
Oh, okay, I'm mistaken.
if we hear an affirmative, maybe we can
Yeah, I'll let you
have
know.
a special meeting or
I'll come,
something
yeah.
to do that, okay?
Mhm.
Good, because I thought, because he ran for that, that might be a good fit, long time resident
Sure,
knows
sure.
his number. Should be good. Let's see, any other thing on appointments?
How many are we still looking for a number of things? I saw a list
There's
somewhere.
a few, there's not too many.
I have it here somewhere.
Yeah, we need to remember to bring up the tourism district representative at the economic development meeting. Park and Rec still has some vacancies.
Conservation Commission, Economic Development,
Right.
Park and Rec, Zoning Board of Appeals, Board of Assessment Appeals, the Northwest Regional Tourism District Representative, the Torrington Area Health District Representative. Well, that's at the end of April. And then the Northwest Connecticut Transit District, requesting Cornwall appoint a board member. Must be a resident of the town or employed here. So I just got this in yesterday. Joyce sent it to me. I asked for it before calling Blaine because I had made a mistake and thought that there was still another vacancy on P&Z, which he had volunteered for. It was my error. So, trying to capitalize on his willingness to be a volunteer where he's needed. And we think, Gordon and I had a discussion, that the Board of Assessment Appeals, because I think he had run for that,
Yes.
I think.
and then the woman who was elected resigned, Pam Longwell.
Right, well,
I
she
think I
had a
got that
conflict.
right.
Yeah, she had a conflict with the courts, I believe.
Something like that. So, there we are.
Right, and there's only one vacancy on the EDC.
Because a couple of them have been filled in the
Yeah.
interim.
Yeah. Yeah, Bianca and Simon filled 2 of them, so there's only 1. Thanks.
So that's not bad then, there's just a couple, and the most pressing one is the Board of Assessment Appeals,
Yes,
because
yeah.
they're meeting, okay.
Yep.
I thought that had already occurred.
So I will call, see, I've got his number and his email right there. That's what I did earlier today, so I'll try to reach him again in the morning. Get back to you.
Okay, great. Okay. Bridge projects?
Bridge.
The bids have all come in and they're great?
No, the bids haven't even gone out, but Roger did hear back from his letter of interest, and people are interested. And the next thing is to get the bid documents and go out with that. So he's compiling a list of interested parties.
And they're
Get
to meet
Mhm.
and go out and visually see everything?
Yeah, he said, yeah, he'll have more stuff for us probably next time. He's getting some thick, glossy engineering things saying they can build whatever you need.
From Leonard?
No, this is for potential contractors.
But it's from Leonard, it's Leonard's information?
No, this is interested. Oh, he's put out his letter. Are you
Oh.
interested? Let me know. So the letters he's gotten back, some of them were quite thick with
Oh.
glossy brochures of how much
Of their
these engineering
qualifications.
firms,
Yeah, yeah.
or they're what their qualifications are.
I gotcha.
So we're on track with that. The next thing is to get the invitation to bids out. Okay, so the next thing is the library crosswalk.
Well, and the bridge stuff, that's all tentatively going to happen.
Yeah, we're right on track. The
Right,
next
right,
thing,
right.
I mean, he was hoping to have the bid documents this meeting, so he would definitely have them by mid-March.
Right.
So we should be set to go out to bid mid-March for summer construction.
Right,
So that's
good, okay, good.
Library crosswalk, Jim Vanek, said somebody requested from him a crosswalk to be put on Pine Street here between the library and the parking. It's across the street. So, anyway, I thought I'd talk to the library.
What
Before.
do we require for that?
There's probably some
Or what's required
specifications
for it?
there, bunch of signage,
Painting the road?
probably painting, yeah. So, anyway, I will pursue that as we should.
Now,
Well,
who does that? Our own road
yeah,
department?
we'd put in the similar thing that we put in at the school. You know, we put in the signage, and so far back from intersections, you have to have a warning, crosswalk ahead, this kind of stuff. So, anyway, we'll see.
More visual pollution.
Anyway, we've gotten a request, we have to look into things. So, so I'll let you know on that. Tax refund. We have a tax refund. Okay. One is to Torrance Savings Bank for duplicate escrow payment made on a property on Cemetery Hill Road. Okay. So that's one. That's more of one. And here's two. Okay, John Collins. For a car payment, overpayment. So I'd make a motion that we grant those two tax refunds on the recommendation of the tax collector.
Second. That was the chorus.
Good. Next is farm market.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Farm market, we have a farm market coming up, another season underway, and the Cornwall Farm Co-op Market wants to return to the town green after a successful season last year. And as Richard and I both have family interest in the market, we disqualified ourselves from consideration of that and had Heidi act on the town's behalf with any requests being made to use town property. So I would make a motion that we appoint Priscilla Pavel as the town agent to decide all things farm market for the Board of Selectmen. Is there a second?
I'll second that. Are you aware of this request?
Yes, I happened to call Karen Nelson this morning on another matter, and she said, "Are you aware that you're going to have to make a decision?"
Okay, so you
And-
are aware of that.
And she advised me not about the green. She said what she was talking about, what she told me was that there was going to be a request to use the town hall for one or two sessions in May, early sessions maybe for plant sales, and again in November when it's cold. And it seems to me a logical use of our facility. I happen to shop at both farm markets, and I think farm market is a positive thing to have. So I would definitely say yes.
Okay, you will, if elected, you will run, or something.
Pardon me?
If elected, you will run, or if...
No,
yeah,
no,
you-
I'm not running for farm market.
Right.
I'm just saying,
You will handle whatever questions come up for the town,
Yeah.
as far as use of that. So, anyway, I think we've got a nomination in the second. Any more discussion?
I don't plan to be an exhibitor at the plant farm market.
That's fine.
Just so
don't-
you know.
Yeah, you don't have to take up gardening or anything, it's all good. Yeah, anyway, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Priscilla. Let's see, next is public comments. Are there any public comments?
Yeah, I have a question, Gordon. I love the idea that you're hiring local people for the firehouse bids, but I wondered how you requested bids.
We requested bids based on Paul's knowledge of who, it's pretty complicated job, so we used Paul's resources as far as who he felt was qualified to do the tricky work of this. So we relied on him for some ideas as far as who to do that. Because
There was no public request
there was no
for
public,
bids.
there was no public request for bids.
And you've already decided to give the electrical work to Steve Sicardi, who I understand has a full-time job, and we have a number of, with an electrical business on the side, when we have people who are employed full-time as electricians in this town?
Well, I think that's up to Pete Nestler to decide who he's comfortable with working with as part of this.
No, I think you're hiring him and paying him money. I would think the Board of Selectmen is making that decision.
But it's also up to Pete, is generally the GC of that. And we'll hear, I don't care if he uses Cornwall Electric or whoever he uses, but I just
don't care
said,
who he uses either, but I don't think that it's fair. And also when you compare bids, you say, oh, it's a couple $1,000. Well, one bid, who was the other bid from? Was it from someone in town?
yes,
The $14,000 one?
correct,
And that included both work, right?
correct.
So
Yes.
how do you make a decision when you compare apples and oranges? You don't know what you were comparing.
I've got a pretty
And if
good,
Nestle's gonna get somebody, why didn't he get that bid and present it to you? I think that's unprofessional.
well, I think also it's tricky work, it's not pleasant work when you're dealing up in the attic with insulation. And it took us 2 or 3 months to get any bids on this job, so I'm glad
But
to have the work underway.
You said you didn't go out for bids, so of course it took you a long time because you were just selectively picking a couple people. I bet you if you put it out to bid, you can turn people down, but I don't think it's fair in a small town to pick and choose one person over another without having comparable bids. And I really object to the board making a decision when you didn't have real information to make that judgment on.
Okay,
I think that's unfair to every contractor in this town and every taxpayer like myself, because you didn't have the information to make a good decision. And when you don't make a good decision, you make a bad decision. And I don't think that's right for any of us who are taxpayers.
okay, any other comments? All right,
Something a little
yes,
easier. I need to know
Thank
how to
you.
spell Dick's last name, who's been appointed to the Conservation Commission.
Dick, it's actually Kate Freigang.
Oh, sorry. Oh, so it's Kate, K-A-T-E-F-R-G-A-N-D.
E-Y-G-A-N-D.
G-A-N.
G,
G.
G.
Freigang.
Okay.
Okay. All right, next is bill payments.